Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a review of the Plantman bendable figure from the Tarzan the Epic Adventures line from the 90s. This was a figure by Trendsmasters, and I'm kind of excited for this one because it's a bendable figure, and I have no idea what a bendable figure is. So, I mean, my only context for bendable toys is this snake that came with my Tarzan figure from Trendmasters back in the day, and it's just, it feels like regular plastic, but he can bend, and so it makes it for a really, really cool snake figure. I really like it. I have no idea how this is going to translate into a regular figure, so I'm very interested to see that. As you can see, it's pretty standard packaging for the line. It looks fantastic. It stands on its own, or you can hang it up, and the back has other toys in the line. Pretty standard stuff for this line as far as the packaging goes, and this is worth 1 Tarzan point. And I have been in contact with a former Trendmasters employee on Facebook, and he said that they never came up with anything to redeem the points for, which is not uncommon. I think a lot of lines ended up having kind of proof of purchase things like that on the back of their toys that never had anything you could send in. So there you go, mystery solved on the Tarzan points. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. It's just like the other packaging. It's glued, the bubble is glued to the card. Very common stuff for the 90s. And all right, yeah, I can normally remove these bubbles without doing a whole lot of damage to the packaging. And this one, well, yeah, sometimes the old school opening skills are a little rusty, but here we go. And so you just pull him out, and so now Plantman is out of the packaging. There you go. So like a ton of figures in this line, Plantman comes with this badge, which looks really nice. It's got a clip on the back if you want to actually wear it or something like that, but you're going to get a lot of these if you collect this line. It's nice, but again, it's kind of redundant. This is like my 6th badge or something. As far as the figure itself goes, as you can see, he stands just fine on his own. Very nicely constructed as far as standing goes. As far as the feel goes, I don't know if he's quite normal plastic, but he doesn't feel, he's not made of rubber. I mean, or anything that I would associate with rubber. He doesn't have like a strong smell or anything. There is a little bit of new toy smell to him, but it's not, it's not overwhelming or weird or anything. And so his arm does bend. Let's see. He's bending up and down okay. Bends to the side okay. You're not going to get the arm stretched straight out. It looks kind of cool. He looks like he's directing traffic, Plantman directing traffic. By the way, these Plantman are like vicious creatures that travel in hordes and feed on humans in the novels. He first appears in Gods of Mars, and he's basically kind of a mindless animal that just preys on humans, or they are. They're a race of creatures, and they kind of eat with their little suckers in their hands and stuff. They drain the blood of their victims, all that good stuff. That's basically, you've seen all the stuff I can do with the arms here. So this is them, down to the side, but I don't know. I think Plantmen are generally chasing people anyway, so you're probably going to have him, like running around trying to eat someone anyway. So let's see. Can I do anything with his head? Unsurprisingly, not really. I really wish they had maybe made the arms bendable, but the head could be turned. That would be cool. As far as, maybe bending the body, I mean, it's given a little bit, but I wouldn't say there's a whole lot of bend here. Now, he does have a tail. And let's see here, the tail. Oh, the tail, the tail does bend. And it looks pretty cool. Yeah, you can, yeah, oh, that's a nice bit of bending on this tail. And I've heard, you know, like nightmare stories about like recent collectible figures like Snout Spout in Masters of the Universe that have a bendable part. Like for Snout Spout, it's his elephant nose, and it will crack and all this stuff if you bend it. I've never experienced anything like that with a snake, and I don't really have any concerns here. This seems fine, but I can always, you know, make another video if I experience problems. So tail moves, arms move, which is logical, and I think is a good choice to make bendable figures for those purposes. But what about the legs? So, well, the leg is See, the thing about it is, okay, the leg is kind of like the tentacle. You know, it moves like the tentacle, like it's a tentacle, and not like a leg. So, you know, what I mean by that is, as a leg, I want it to bend at the joint. So, I can't really do that a whole lot. See, this right here is not going to give. It's not going to give me anything, so all I can do is do like weird stuff like that with his leg. So it's not really, you know, great articulation on the legs. And just to get a close-up at this sculpt, it is really nice. Just because it's made out of a bendable material doesn't mean we lost any detail or any paint detail or sculpting detail. So I really like this. This is a very, very good rendition of a Plantman. This is really, really spot on. And to illustrate how faithful this is to the source material, here's a recent cover done by Joe Jusko of one of the Mars comics by Dynamite with the Plantman on the cover. And as you can see, he is just really spot on to what a Plantman should look like. As for what scale the figure is on, he is clearly shorter than the 5.5-inch Tarzan figure, so he's not really fitting in with those figures. He's closer in size to the smaller figures in this line, which measure about 3.75 inches tall, but if they stood up straight like John Carter here, he'd probably measure about 4.5 inches, which is what your Secret Wars and Superpower figures from the 80s would be. So it's kind of weird, and it looks like John Carter might actually be taller than the Plantman if he stood up, and in the novels they are very, very tall, much taller than a human being. So it's kind of disappointing, you know, putting him with the different figures in this line. He just doesn't seem to be on the right scale with anything else. So overall, I only have two minor complaints about this figure. One, he's not on the same scale as anything else. He just doesn't fit in as far as his height goes with the rest of the figures. And secondly, you know, I would have loved to have seen him have articulation in his head or his legs, you know, traditional articulation. That being said, this is a really good figure that I really, really like. This is just a really obscure monster done very, very well. I mean, he's just beautifully crafted, and I'm really glad to add him to my collection, even though, like I said, he's not quite perfect, but he looks really cool just standing on his own. So that's probably how I'm going to display him. And just really cool to see something like this from an Edgar Rice Burroughs novel come to life. And just really makes me wish this line had kept going so we could have got more of these Burroughs monsters. So that's it. I've got several more figures in the Tarzan the Epic Adventures line to review. Only have one more Mars figure that I have, and then we'll transition over to the jungle figures with Tarzan. So that'll be fun. So like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time, see ya.